sit. So, good morning and welcome to Rise and Shine. So, come to your seat. You can have some support. You can have a blanket or a block, something that just gives you a little bit of leverage and opportunity to sit with a little bit higher perspective. Nice way to begin the morning. So, let yourself settle in and take any time you need to make your adjustments. So you may plop down and then realize that actually just refining how you've set your foundation will give you a chance to find, even if it's just a tiny bit, but just that much more connection, that much more space. And then as you feel yourself settle in, you can let one hand come to your low belly and maybe closing your eyes or at least softening your gaze. Let your belly soften towards your hand. And then keeping that softness, that release in the belly, reach the hand back, feel into the sacrum and the low back. And let your back release as well, just so that you can start to sense into the grounding, the aponic or downward movement. You can just let any effort with your breath go so that you're with a natural breath right now. And it's still sensing in the body this downward release. So your feet and your legs are rooted, of course, into the earth, but then the whole torso is starting to soften. Maybe you even sense an expansion through the ribs. And if it helps you to bring your hands or hand onto your body, go ahead and do that. Sensing where your hand is touching and inviting that area to soften just even a little bit and release. As you come up towards your shoulders, sense here that there's a widening that can happen as well. So that in the back body, there's a movement outwards to the sides. And same on the front body. And feel now into the skull and feel into the organ of your brain. And can you sense here, not so much thinking, but sense with more of a feeling or sensation quality? the brain. And can you also let your brain release, widen a little bit? Let go of the contraction of the mind around a topic, a thought. And just notice what that experience brings up for you of just becoming aware of the organ of the brain independent from the operation, the thinking. And then you can bring your attention downwards now, just traveling through the center column, the Shushum that runs from the crown of the head in a way all the way down the front of the spine. This invisible energetic line, trace it down all the way to the base of the pelvic floor. And for a moment, feel into the pelvic floor, into the release. Feel into the release of the reproductive organs towards the front of the pelvic bowl. Maybe traveling just a bit upwards, just to sense into the release of the digestive organs. Outwards again to the organs of the lungs. And into the heart, your actual heart. Can you feel the heart beating? And once more, just releasing now the organs, the heart, the lungs, all the digestive and reproductive organs. And releasing, meaning letting go of tension around the organs themselves so that the actual heart, the actual lungs, for example, can have a space to function so that maybe you can feel your heartbeat, so that maybe you can sense the movement of the lungs in the body with each breath. And start to follow the breath without changing it. You can place your attention with the actual organ of the lungs, organs, the right and left side. And just feeling into what happens, what is happening breath by breath. And really feel it in an embodied way. So drop whatever you know or you think you know about breathing, about the mechanism of breath, and just be with the breath. One breath at a time. And when the mind becomes occupied with something else, guide it back gently but firmly. And follow the next breath out. And as you inhale, you can let your hands raise, palms together, let the chin bow, and welcome yourself. Welcome yourself to this day. And let's greet the day with a chant. You can chant the Gayatri mantra, and maybe I'll remember to put the mantra in the chat so you can have access to it. Om Buhu, Om Buvaha, Om Suvaha, Om Yanaha, Om Mahaha, Om Bhurvasvaha, Tatsavitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Bhurvasvaha, Tatsavitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. This last one we can do together. I'll give some space. Om Bhurvasvaha, Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargoho devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayat. Om apojyotira somritam Brahma bhurbhuvasuvarom. And one more time together. Om bhurbhuvasvaha tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargoho devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yona prachodayat. Om apojyotira somritam Brahma bhurbhuvasuvarom. As you're ready to open your eyes, you can open your eyes and let's take a nice big stretch. Give me a yawn. Reach up through the sides of your body. Let the shoulders release and let your arms release down. Pull your knees in. Stretch your legs out. You can stay seated on your blanket or your cushion. Just release out through your legs as you need to. Take some water or tea as you need to. Good. And actually, let's just sit for a moment in Dandasana with the legs extended. And this time again, feeling into the front, into the back. And let yourself be spacious here, but now with a little bit more sense of coming to your center. So you can a little bit squeeze in through the hips, you can a little bit hug the belly towards the spine and feel the sacrum grounding into place. Good. Expand your toes and ground through your heels and just feel the muscles of the legs starting to become active. And that will also help to bring a sense of lift through the spine. You can take your arms straight up, maybe into a little bit more of a V though. So the shoulders are relaxing away from the ears. And just take a few breaths here. Feel the lungs expand. Breathe into the back, the sides, and the front. And with your exhale, tilt yourself forward. Bring your hands down to the ground. Let the head release a bit, turning side to side. On your inhale breath, ground down to come up. And on your exhale, bring your hands back behind you. This time you can move the fingers to face your seat. Walk your feet in. Feet are hip width. Hands are grounding down. And arms can be straight here. Feel the shoulder blades on the back. We'll press up into tabletop pose. Feel your hips lifted at the height of your knees. Breathe again into the front, the sides, and the back of the body. Feel into the contact through your feet. And release yourself down. Good. Switch the legs out. Shake the hands out. And the wrists rolling. Good. And then let's bring your left foot in. Take your right leg out. If you have a strap, you might use that. However it works for you. I'm just going to take Janu Shirshasana. So bringing the strap around the ball of the big and little toe. Start by finding your space, pressing the left foot into the right thigh and keep your right leg nice and active here. And then bring yourself forward. You can let your gaze come down. And you may or may not need your strap. If you're coming off the strap, then just hold on to your foot. And breathe into the sides, the back and front. Try letting the head release. Again, turning side to side if needed. And inhale, coming up. Follow your left hand, reach it right up alongside the ear, and then turn through the waist, through the ribs. Press the hand down. Press through your hand to your left knee and your right heel and lift up your hips. And from here, you can start to just extend the arms apart first. You can try looking down and then start to feel your limbs draw into the center. Turn, shoulder blades coming onto the back. You can bend your right elbow, just catch the back of your head. Let the front body open, let the head release back. And then maybe extend the right arm, only if it feels good for your neck. Maybe explore with that right arm for a moment before you bring your chin back to your chest and lower yourself down. And take both legs out in front. Take the arms up overhead, coming back to Dandasana with arms extended. And fold forward for a moment. Simple Paschimottanasana. Feel free to let the spine, especially the upper back, round. And inhale to come back up. Feel the strength through your legs. Bring your hands down behind you. Take tabletop again. Find a few breaths here. See if you can feel again into the width. Breathing into the sides and into the back of your lungs. And maybe for the last breath, let the gaze come towards the ceiling. Feel the back of your head move a bit back towards the ground. And on the exhale, lower yourself down. Extend your left leg, bend your right knee. And use the strap maybe just to start the fold. Also to help really give yourself the feeling of length and space through the torso and the spine. And just observe right away that it's probably easier to access breath in your right side. So you want to be a little more conscious of your left side. Stay rooted and fold forward. And feel the breath come, feel the breath go. And feel into the sensations. And where you feel tension or where you feel restriction, bring your breath there. And for the last few breaths, trying to really release the head. And often this is really challenging, the forward folding in the morning. So just feel into it. Coming up with an inhale, and let the right arm float and then start to twist. So here, twisting from your waist, place the hand down behind you, press and rise up. Pick up your hips, stretch the arms apart, look down towards your hand. You want to have your hand nice and rooted through the whole perimeter of your palm. Feel into your fingertips and then press your right shoulder blade onto your back to help facilitate a little bit of a twist. Reach the left hand back, catch the back of your head. Your elbow is pointing upwards. And you can start to feel your left shoulder blade as well. So the shoulder blades are coming in and almost like creating a support. Think of maybe even hands behind you holding your shoulder blades, offering the support for your chest and for your heart, especially on this side, the organ of your heart, to find space. You can reach that left arm long for the last breath or two. And slowly come down. Last time, we'll take Dandasana and then Paschimottanasana. And make sure your legs are coming straight out of the hips. You can take the arms up. You can always have a bend in your knees as you need, but aiming towards straight legs. Let the exhale bring you forward. If you're not reaching your feet, you can use the strap. Finding the length here. And maybe even if you are reaching your feet, you might just give yourself a little bit of space with the strap to bring width into the front body and to feel that rooting and widening. Then release the strap or release your hands. Come all the way back up. Take the arms. Keep the sense of extension through the sides. Bring the hands back. And one more time, tabletop pose. And really feel into where you connect with the ground and source from the ground up through your limbs, pressing up through the hips, feeling shoulder blades come to support on the back. Let the head release back only if it feels good to you, that you can even keep the back of your neck long. Open throat. Slowly bring the gaze forward, lower down. And from here, you can cross your ankles, move the blanket, and come back into child's pose. Forehead down, arms extended out. And inhale to roll up. Come back to sit on your heels for a moment. Legs hugging in. It's not too loud. Just fix your hair if you need to fix your hair. Reach your hands back, interlace through the fingers. Feel the chest rise up. It should feel fairly open here. And then go ahead and exhale. Fold forward. Let your forehead touch down. Press to the tops of your feet. And then you can roll up towards the crown of your head and down. Think of it as a massage for your skull. Again, you can just sense into the organ of your brain. How does this feel? Even if it's a massage for the outside, maybe you feel the inside effect. And release your hands, bring them all the way forward again, and come up to all fours. And from all fours, tuck your toes, come back downward facing dog. And just pedal the backs of the legs, connected through your hands, all the way out to the fingers. You can keep your right knee bent and your left sole of the foot grounding. And then switch sides. And then bend both knees, extend long through the sides. Feel the scoop of the belly. Support the lengthening of the spine, and then let the heels root down. Feel your knees coming right in line with your ankles. And look forward to come forward back to all fours, knees down. Lengthen the toes back, come all the way to the ground. And take cobra pose. Hands can come a little bit wider. Press through the tops of your feet. Lengthen through the sides of the body. Lower down on your exhale. And take cobra a couple times. This is a whole body posture. It's not just for the upper body. So feel into your legs, into your feet, into your hips. Tuck your toes. When you're ready, press yourself back. Downward facing dog. And from down dog, just pick up the right leg, down dog split. Here you can bend the knee. And as you let your left heel reach down, just take a few easy circles, but conscious. Yeah, easy doesn't mean not paying attention. Go both ways. And extend your leg long. And turn your hips back to face the ground and release the right foot and switch sides. Feel free to take a pause in between the sides if you need it. Really breathing with the movement or moving with the breath. Before you transition your foot down, straighten the leg and come back down one more time to all fours. Lower yourself down. And this time coming up into Shalabhasana locust pose. Bring the hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers the other way, other index finger on top. Extend through the arms. And feel the grounding first, and then the expanding and the rising. Start with the upper body. And maybe take a break. And then you can come to the lower body. And release down. Just take a pause with your head turned to one side. Breathe into your back. And turn your head to the other side. A few more breaths here. See if you can really release. Hands by your chest. Tuck the toes. Press back. Downward facing dog. And just take several breaths in the down dog. See how you feel here. You can step your right foot forward. Bring maybe just keep the fingertips on the ground. Pull the hips towards each other. Lengthen through the spine. Back knee down now. Reach the hips back. Easy runner's stretch. Should feel pretty nice and open through that front leg, now at least the back of the leg. Lengthen through your toes. You can float your arms up into a low lunge. Bring the hands down. Step back. Down dog split. Just extend the leg straight back. Reach your left heel towards the ground. Inhale to plank now. Lower down, take cobra or take upward facing dog. Take downward facing dog. And pick up your left leg. Step it forward. Start with just a lunge. And just feeling into it. And back knee comes down, toes can lengthen, lifting up. Feel the space. Exhale your hands down. One more time. Down dog split. And coming through plank. Cobra or up dog. Good. Down dog and child's pose. Roll yourself up to your seat in child's pose, or from child's pose rather. And you can stay seated on your heels or find another seat that feels good for you. And come back. Awareness dropping right inside. And feel here into the quality of your energy this morning. Sense again into the downward, the aponic flow. And if you're like me and you're feeling a bit low energy, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you feel like you want to boost, you can just join me for a round of Kapalabhati. And if you're feeling like, no, all good, just work with Ujjayi breath. And breathe in and breathe out. And then take the breath practice that suits your needs this morning. Bringing your palms together. Once more, tune in and set your intention for this day. And let's just close with the Gayatri Mantra one more time. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Apojotira Somritam Brahma Bhurbuva Suvarom. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. So have a wonderful morning, wonderful day, and see how you feel after this little bit more slow and steady practice. I'll be curious to know. Take care.